Got a great question. What can offensive coordinator Mike LeFleur dial up for number 2 in year 2 to help our quarterback be more successful? And I'm going to answer it right now.
Hold up.
What's going on? Thank you for taking time out of your day to talk some ball with me. Question for you right out of the top, scale of 1 to 10. How confident are you that Mike LeFleur is the right guy dialing up plays for this New York Jets offense? I think after year 1, I'm at about a 6 or a 7. Cautiously optimistic. Curious to see your numbers pour in the comments below. Now, today we're talking quarterback progressions and reads and specific plays within those progressions and reads to help Zach Wilson be comfortable and successful in year 2. Right now, right off the top, little background information. If it's old news to you, don't mean to bore you, but it's been new to me. I've been doing my homework. There are essentially 3 types of progressions quarterbacks are asked to go through within this offense, and generally in most modern NFL offenses. All right, we got number 1, a pure progression read. That means we're going through our primary, secondary, tertiary option, check down. 1 is he open, 2 is he open, 3 is he open, boom, check down. Simple. The second one, more complicated. This is a progression with an option. So here's where you see quarterbacks go up to the line, they go, kill, 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 alert, 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 right? And they're either doing one of 2 things. Usually we call the pass play, right? We're killing or we're checking to a run play. Or within a called pass play, they're changing the route concept or order of progressions within a route concept based on information they get at the line of scrimmage. And third is the pick a side read, which is exactly what it sounds like. Again, based on matchups or defensive leverage, quarterbacks will come up to the line and they'll essentially turn the play into a half field read with mirrored routes on either side of the play. Now, with that being said, I think the New York Jets could do a better job next year of balancing the type of progression they asked Zach Wilson to go through. Because last year it was all over the place. Carolina game, first game, really high pure progression. Then the Mike White game, Cincinnati, really high pick a side read. Okay. So I'll explain the different values that each of these progression types have. And I think I'll make a good case that a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 split heading into year 2 could be really beneficial for Zach, at least up to the bye week, before we really start to yank those training wheels off our young quarterback. Starting with the most simple. That is the pick a side read. It's really run at every single level of football. Back when I was doing my best to coach 8th graders how to play the position, this is what we installed first. Now, situationally, number 1, it's a cover 1 beater. Okay, because you see if it's single high safety, the safety is often determining which side we're reading. If the safety is leverage right, we're looking left. If the safety is leverage left, we're looking right. Safety comes down on a blitz, we're hitting our swing check out of the backfield. Also, it creates a lot of urgency within your wide receivers because technically, when we break the huddle here, the wide receivers don't know which side of the field the quarterback is choosing to read. Now, if they're a veteran, they've been studying their film, they probably have an idea. But theoretically, all 5 passing targets feel like they have a good shot to get the ball. So nobody's hot dogging it on their route. And then when it comes to certain down and distance, this is a really good call to, if you're in field goal range and you want to avoid a negative play, good progression to choose. Because last year, how often do we remember the Jets are down at the opponent's 30, 25, and then we take a sack, a big negative play, and now we're punting instead of having a chance for 3 points. Because it's really simple. Say we're going left side. You got 2 reads on the same plane of vision and then a check down. 1, 2, check it or chuck it. So worst case scenario, it's 3 points. Second, going from simplest to what I believe is the most complicated, the progression with an option. Now, if we step back from the X's and O's for a second, I think psychologically this could be really helpful too. You step up to the line, Zach Wilson, young quarterback on the road, 3rd and 6, raucous crowd. I think forcing yourself to scan the defense and be analytical could be a way to calm your nerves. Forcing yourself to assess the situation. Now, back to the X's and O's, you can dictate matchups here. We saw this in the Tampa Bay game when Braxton Berrios scored that touchdown, diving towards the pylon. Before he dove towards the pylon, Zach Wilson broke the huddle, and we heard, alert, 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 alert. That was because Braxton Berrios was matched up against a safety. We'll take that all day. Either the route concept or the progression order was changed. Braxton Berrios runs a 5-yard out. Zach Wilson delivers a beautiful ball. 6 points on the board. Love to see that. Third and final one, we talked about the pure progression. Well, why is this helpful? It's kind of the inverse of what I talked about with the progression with an option. Sometimes young quarterbacks can think too much. And sometimes we want to ask Zach Wilson to take a 3-step or a 5-step drop and dude, let it rip. Use that cannon that made you the second overall pick. 1, 2, 3 is the open. And the note I'll make here on the pure progression side of it, last year in the beginning of the season, and when I watched the first 4 games, I saw a lot of progressions where Zach Wilson's hot route and or check down were on the opposite side of the progression as his primary target. Yeah, that's a tough ask for a young quarterback. In Carolina, I saw this a lot. He took 6 sacks, right? Because he's looking left at his read 1 is to the left outside, read 2 is to the left in the slot. But my hot route is the wide receiver on the right side, and my check down is my running back on the right side. Okay, now he's got pressure over here. It's covered up on his first and second reads. He's got no outlet to throw the ball away. And I think we corrected that when I look at the Mike White game. I think that was the turning point of the season for how we called our offense, because Mike LeFleur dialed it back and he said, I'm going to call the most simplistic form of our offense because we're going to kind of baby our backup quarterback. And then he kind of realized, hey, maybe we can dial it back a little bit for our rookie at BYU as well. So I want to see more of those in place too, again, till at least the bye week. And then we can start playing some 4D chess after that. Now, talking about specific play calls within these progressions that align with Zach Wilson's talent and what he's comfortable with. And if you want to like the video at this point, that'd be cool. The first route concept that I think Zach Wilson will excel if it's called more is this levels concept. We saw this a lot last year where either it's a 2-man levels game where you have like a slot receiver running a 10-yard in and then maybe an outside receiver running like an 18 to 20-yard in behind it. Or you have your slot, your Y, clearing out a safety up the seam, and you're running that in or that dagger behind it. When I watched the Tampa Bay game, we got 6 first downs on that route concept alone, right? We're really eating in the middle of the field. That's where Zach Wilson has thrown his best balls. Middle of the field, 8 to 20 yards. That was the money zone for him in the second half of the season. We're stretching the field vertically, and then we're opening up space in the middle. Also, I like levels because when levels is called as the back side of your read, right? Let's say your primary reads are on the right side. Maybe you have a go route you're looking for, and then a corner on the right side, looking for a big play. 1, 2, not there. You come back left. Now, if those your 2 receivers on the left are running a levels game inside, as you scan from right to left, they're going to be coming into Zach Wilson's frame of vision, right? Where conversely, if you're running a mirrored route where you have 2 go routes on the outside and then like a post and a corner going outside, that's going to take like an extra quarter, half a second from Zach Wilson to scan from sideline to sideline instead of sideline to hash. And that split second could be the difference between a first down and a sack. So just a note on the levels game. The second play call I like a lot, and you'll see on your screen right here, we have a double play action. We're faking the handoff, and we're faking the end around. And we got a little stick and nod concept with the tight end, but really it's the play action game I like. And we did run this a fair amount because now you're stressing the defense in every single way. All right. If you're a pass rusher, you got to be worried about one of these shifty Barrios or Elijah Moore guys getting a handoff and beating you outside. You got to be worried about a draw coming up the middle, and you have to have gap integrity inside. Now we're pulling it down to pass, and the timing of your pass rush moves is now all jacked because you've had to wait and be disciplined. Am I going outside? Am I going inside? Okay, now I'm getting the quarterback, especially in rundowns. So we like that play a lot. And hey, how about Elijah Moore on that stick and nod and give me Tyler Conklin running up the seam? Love that. And here we're in 12 personnel running it. Now, that's a heavy package play action. We're going to see that a lot. That's where you get those linebackers really starting to bite when you're in 12 and 21 personnel. But I also think we can run some play action out of the gun, kind of like Zach Wilson did a lot with the air raid BYU offense. Okay, no, we're not going to see a ton of that. He's got to learn the offense we're running at the NFL level. But we still got a young quarterback to support. And I think the benefit of running play action out of the gun is it allows Zach Wilson to keep his eyes on his wide receivers the whole time. If you're running play action where you're turning around and coming out of a boot, it's like a second and a half that the wide receivers are into their routes before Zach Wilson has his eyes down the field. Okay, so it's really big timing and anticipation throws, whereas if you're running play action out of the gun, from the snap, it allows Zach Wilson to be assessing his progressions, but you're still getting some of that play action game. So we love to see that. And final route concept I like here, that is this drive concept you see on the screen. I think that's because we're getting a little bit of everything, right? We're getting deep shots down the field. We're putting stress on the intermediate middle, where Zach Wilson showed some of his best accuracy down the stretch. And we have a swing check to our running back if the play breaks down. So when it comes to Michael LeFleur next year, I'd like a nice balance of the three types of progressions. And I'd like to see some levels, some drive, some play action, and maybe a little play action out of the shotgun, but it's not all on the coaching staff. Zach Wilson's got to step up too. Here are some things I'm looking for. Room for improvement of our young QB1 as he heads into year 2. Subscribe if you're new. We'll talk ball soon. All gas, no break.